What up, folks, and welcome back to Wolfemonsters. Today we're going to be changing out a starter. So what I'm going to show you is 3 different things that is going to help you with this whole starter process. So first you got to figure out, how do you want to order your part? Then you got to decide, do you want a refurbished starter or do you want a brand new one from the OEM? And then I'm just going to show you general installation for a Mercury 115 2-stroke starter kit that you can base off what your boat is, because most of you guys aren't going to have my exact same boat, but this is the general concept. So I'm going to show you how to uninstall the main brackets, how to hook up the wiring, which you can apply that to whatever boat that you're installing a starter to. So let's start into the first thing. And first, that's going to be locating what starter you need. There's 2 different options to do this. The way I like to do it is go ahead, just pull your cowling right off the boat and locate your starter. And on the side of it, you're going to see a part number on the side. For mine, it starts off with 50- blah, blah, blah. And then what I like to do is take that part number, simply just enter it into Google, and you're going to see it's going to pop up with that part number with that type of starter for multiple different manufacturers. And what you're generally going to see is these are going to be refurbished starters that have already been returned and then rebuilt that you can install. Question is, why would you want a refurbished starter over a brand new one? And that is simply money. So $80 is what I've spent on this particular starter here, whereas if you go to the Mercury site itself and get it straight from Mercury, it's about 350 bucks. So the second thing you can do is, if you do want a new starter for your boat, you can go to the Mercury website itself, simply go through these steps right here. It's going to come up with a catalog screen. You go to outboard and then you start treeing through all the different components until you find your starter. So for this particular one, you would hit 2-stroke 4-cylinder and it'll start opening up. You want to hit the starter package and then you'll see your starter right in there, and then it shows the price of the actual starter, which is about $350. So then the third thing that we are going to do is we're going to go out, disassemble the starter and put the new starter in it, showing the general connections. So let's just hop to it. Here's your starter right here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that we have to take out to actually remove the starter from itself. The reason that I'm actually replacing the starter is your spring mechanism up here. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but when I was going to start it, this wasn't engaging up when it was turning. I was able to get it started with a rope, actually using the crankshaft and a rope to get it started to get me out of trouble, but I'm just tired of this thing misfiring, so that's why I'm actually changing. So for this first bolt here, this is actually 7/16 wrench. We're going to go ahead and do it. One quick disclaimer: whenever I'm working on this stuff, I have a battery switch that runs from my terminal to actually my motor. Go ahead and flip that off. It's just a safety thing I like to do, because if you touch any of this stuff, you could get a spark, and you never know what kind of gas you might have floating around or fumes. So I just go ahead and cut it off. So let's go ahead and take this first one off. Here's the second one. They break off pretty easily, you can see. All right, and then it looks like these other ones are a slight bit bigger. Yep, looks like it's metric, and this is actually a 13 mil. So go ahead and rip that off. Alright, I honestly don't think this starter has been taken off since the new one was ever even put on. So this is a 20-year-old starter, and that took a lot to break loose. Oh, that one broke loose. That one's definitely been broke loose a few times. But it looks like this is where all your ground wires go anyway, so that would make sense. And one trick I've always done is, when I'm taking all these apart, I try to set up the wire configuration or your nuts over here in the same hole location when you're putting them back in. I find it makes it easier to put this all stuff back. I want to put a zip tie around these just so I don't forget exactly how all this stuff went together. I'm taking this apart a few days ahead of the starter actually getting in, so that way it's easier on the video. But I at least want to get it uninstalled today. So we'll tuck that aside for now. And then we've got one more bolt to pull out. Oh, yep, that one hasn't been done. All right, so when you take this out, that main bracket comes out, and this is like your mounting bracket that holds your starter up into place. Set that over to the side for now, and then this should just pull right out. Your other bracket, if you can see up here, this is your top bracket. That comes out with a little grommet that holds your fuel injector or your oil injector case in. So we're gonna set that aside. Actually show you both of those real quick. So this is the top and the bottom that hold your starter into place, and now we should be able to just pull that thing right on out. Pop, there it is. And see, this is one of the easier jobs because you saw there is nothing to this, and you're gonna get charged a lot of money to have this done. So there's your starter. Now we just have to wait for it to come in the mail and we'll install the new one. All right, and here's our new starter. So this came in about 5 days ago, but something I want to show you real quick is, here's the new starter and here's the old starter. Can you tell what the difference is? Look at those bottom caps. So the new starter doesn't come with this grommet. So what you want to do before you actually start installing this, pull off this old grommet like this, and we're just simply going to place this on our other starter. And there, you can actually go ahead and sit it right in that slot where the starter goes. Another key thing is you want to make sure this part right here, this triangular part, goes behind this little bracket, and then it just sits up in there. Then what you're going to do is take your bracket and go ahead and put it around the bottom portion of this, and this will help it hold in place. I tried to just pop it in there with just unloosening bracket slightly, but it's a lot snugger than I thought. So you might want to just go ahead and take that whole bracket off. So we'll go ahead and hand tighten it. Again, a big thing that you want to make sure, well, that's going to pretty much show you that you installed it right, is make sure that your hot wire section, this is where you're actually going to put this wire on that goes from your solenoid straight to your starter. In a sense, this is your switch. When you turn your key, it sends power from your hot wire to this right here, just like a light switch pretty much, and this is what's going to power your starter. This will engage upwards, but you need to make sure that this bolt right here is sticking out so you can't get it. If you see this sticking out, that means you have it installed right. Let's grab a wrench and tighten these up the rest of the way. All right, so we got that bottom one, left one in, but what you want to make sure before you tighten this one is, don't forget to put all your ground wires back on. So earlier we zip tied these so I wouldn't forget to do it or where they went, but they simply go around this bottom bracket right here. So pull that out, I'm gonna cut that zip tie, and then we'll install this one too. All right, make sure your cables are all lined up straight, pop that in. Kind of helps to push on the bottom of that bracket so you get your thread holes lined up just right. Gonna hand tighten it first, and then we'll go ahead and tighten it up the rest of the way. This far, and you get everything tightened up, and you see this, that means you forgot to put the top grommet on, just like I did. So all you do, grab your starter, and so you'll see there's a top grommet right here. So we already took off the bottom one, but what you want to do is take that top one off. We're going to take this bracket off and we're going to put it on, and we shouldn't have this kind of play anymore. That won't work. All right, so we got all the brackets off, and as you can see, we already put that bottom grommet on. Now we simply got to put that top grommet on there, just like that, and it really just pops right in place, nothing to it. Make sure that's pressed all the way down, and we'll go ahead and do it again. Slide it in on top, make sure that triangle's in the back, push in, kind of pops in just like this, and then go ahead and you can already see, look how much movement we don't have. Now granted, I don't have that bracket on there yet, but that is more what you're looking for right there. So I'll go ahead and put it on our bottom bracket. Once you get that bottom bracket in place, it pretty much holds itself. Bottom one's in. Go ahead and put our top bracket in. Looks like we're good. Yep, there it is. You can see that it's not all the way up. I can't quite get it in my hands, but you can see it's going up into that crankshaft gear, so we'll be good there. So now let's just hook up power to it, and we'll see if it cranks. Moment of truth. So that's our power cable right there that's going to start it. We'll give that a quick tighten, and then just, all right, moment of truth. Let's see if it starts. And there have it, folks. We have a good starter and we can be out on the water now. So quick reminder, just remember, don't throw away your old grommets off your old starter. You're gonna need those for your new ones because they're probably not gonna come with it. A thumbs up. Love to see you on the next video. So hit that subscribe button and I will see you on the water. Peace.